Editing Tanner here. I don't know what happened to the first video I recorded, but we took out the Pro R and the Blue RZR for some testing after Uncle Perm got here. So let's cut to those. Alright, we just got back from testing, got the Pro R completely figured out. It just needs to be washed, checked over, and panels put on. Blue RZR still needs to be messed with the spring rates and how we want to run that, but Pop's cutting and bending tubes for the front bumper, and then he has his 0 points because he's going to do it the same style as this, which is his front bumpers he's been building. So he's going to work on that today. What's happening, Timmer's going to throw the transmission into the 1600 and try to start figuring out some stuff with this, so once we get that motor back from Mike, we can get it put together and start running that and see what that needs. Stupid over here hasn't been in any videos yet, but this is Junior. He's gonna be riding in the Sportsman race in the Blue RZR one day, and he's cleaning up the panels for the one car because we need to throw those on so that we can get STG to weigh this thing. And then we got the Pro R and the Blue RZR out here so that they can get pressure washed. Blue RZR, just because it's been sent for a while, we got to get some of that dirt and grime and old oil buildup off so we could see if there's any new leaks. And then the Pro R, just so we can get it clean before we throw it all together and make it look all nice and pretty for the race. Okay, I don't know what happened. We were watching golf, and now we're watching some kind of movie. But one car has all the panels on it. Pro R has all the panels on it. It's all cleaned up as well. And I got all the rest of the panels cut so that they fit on with the new bars. And now we're adjusting the toe on the rear, and we're gonna go try to run it again. Okay, so we got back from testing at a little sketchy moment that I'll put up on, that you guys probably already saw actually, but this thing just needs a little bit more stuff thrown on there and it'll be completely ready for STG to come grab it and they can do their magic to it. Blue RZR needs a little bit different springs, so we're going to go ahead and order those, as well as Pop has most of his bumper made and tacked on. He has to make his lower bars and then finish welding it and makes, and we're gonna put a Baja Designs light bar in the middle, so we got to make some of those tabs. But for the most part, it's looking good. We just got to get the new springs and test it some more, see what the shocks are doing. Pro R is all buttoned up and ready to go. I don't think we got much to do besides get all the safety stuff put in this thing and they'll be ready to go. So this one's done for now. The 1600 transmission is in, and now it's just waiting on the motor and axles. Oh, and we're throwing a different fuel pump on there, but besides that, this thing's about ready to go. That's about it for today, so I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Okay, it's currently Monday, but we're getting close to the races, so my dad's back. Once we get back from testing this Blue RZR, I'll interview him, ask him where he was on Sunday, but we're gonna go take the Blue RZR for another drive with him driving and see what he thinks. All right, Dad, where were you yesterday?
We were fortunate enough to win a NASCAR giveaway, VIP tickets. So me and Elvis went up to Vegas for the Pennzoil 400 and able to take a look at the NASCAR, different world. You know, we're dirt racers, been doing dirt racing off-road racing for 26 years, and able to kind of get a glimpse into that world and what they do there, and it was quite the sight to see. And we were able to get access to pit row during the race. We were actually sitting in the crew chief box for a majority of the race while it was going on, and just a pretty cool, different aspect of racing for us to check out, but just an awesome experience, probably once in a lifetime thing that I would ever do, because I never really got into the NASCAR side of the racing world. But really cool to see. Really cool to see the dedication and stuff from the team members and the crew that put in all the work. Kind of like what we do. Same thing as a big crew of guys that it takes to get the car out there, not just the guy driving. So really awesome. Had a really good time with Elvis. I missed the shop day, but you know, like I said, once in a lifetime chance I had to take it. So we were in Vegas yesterday.
Alright, well, you probably can't hear me too well, but you just saw the interview. I'm going to put up some footage that you probably already saw. We went to go start driving it. My dad was all strapped in, had the helmet on. I walked around the front of the car and knocked off the Pop's ground. And then I remembered this bumper is just barely tacked on. And it took him about a good 30 minutes to make sure everything was perfectly square with the car. It don't look like it because that front end is pushed over, but it is square. And if we would have went out there and drove this thing and ripped that front bumper off, he wouldn't have been happy at all. So we'll let him get that bumper retacked or finish welded, and then we'll start driving this thing again and see what's going on with it. All right, well, it is currently Tuesday. Pop's getting his notcher out and getting ready to finish up some bars on for the front bumper. And then we got a new amber lens and mounting kit for this Baja Designs we had set up. So it's gonna be just like the 1600 with the amber light bar in the front bumper, and the Pro R with the amber light bar in the front bumper. So those three cars will have ambers in the front. But while Pop's doing that, I was supposed to do it, but then he said he put it on, so he has some special way. He's pulling that rear skid plate off to try to find that leak that we're having that's leaking under the skid plate. And then while they're doing that, I'm going to start working on getting this foam traced and cut out for the pit toolbox. Alright, it is currently Tuesday night. I'm about to start heading in, but Pop has his bumper completely welded on and the tabs for the light bar completely welded on. So last thing mainly for the front is get that light bar wired up to a switch, and that front bumper will be done. But and a skid plate down there at the bottom. And then he started getting his rear bumper figured out where that spare is going to go. We're not going to run a spare at this upcoming race, or maybe the next 2 or 3 upcoming races, but eventually we want to start doing more desert races in it. So we want to build a bumper so that we don't have to build another one. So he has it kind of stacked up, and we're going to run the spare kind of flat like that. But my dad got here a little bit later and brought the rebuilt shocks for Harpo's car. So the last thing we are waiting on for this thing before it can be test drove or testing is the right rear caliper that we're still running into this issue. Me and Pop are rewatching all the videos, and about every video I said, oh yeah, we're going to get that caliper figured out next week or the next day. And it's probably been about 4 weeks, but the caliper is on its way. We just don't know where it's at and how long it's going to take to get here. But I'm going to order some different upper springs all the way around for this thing tomorrow, and probably a couple other things. And we're just going to slowly start picking up these, but I'll see you guys on Thursday. Well, it's Thursday night. We're over in the play shop. Getting the old Super ATV bearings pressed out of the front, knuckles, and the new OEM Polaris ones pressed in, because I went and drove it yesterday, even though it wasn't shop day. and there was still some bad vibrations in the front end and some other stuff going on. So we are swapping the wheel bearings, and then went and stole the front diff out of his play car, and we're gonna see if that can hopefully fix our problems that we're having. Okay, he's out here, got the new, or the other diff in, getting the front end put back together. Here's the old one. He took it apart just to see if there's anything wrong with it. Dad's over here trying to find a new uni ball. As you can tell, he's super excited to work on race cars tonight. Stupid's over here. When he pulled apart that other side, he pulled the axle out of the CV, so it's got to get pulled apart, put back in, and re-greased. Well, they're all working on the Blue RZR. I'm trying to find good wheels and tires for Harpo's car because we got all those shocks put on, and we're gonna try our best to use the old caliper just so we can hold brake pressure and go put some test miles on it this weekend at our little camp out. All right, well, it's currently like 10:45 or 11, whatever time it is. Harpo's car, the only last thing it needs is a good set of tires on it, and it'll be good to go. All the shocks are on, the rear caliper's on. Brakes do need to be bled, but besides that and tires, this thing can go. Just go put some miles on it this weekend. Blue RZR CV is fixed. Uniball is fixed. Everything's tightened and Loctited. Last things that need to happen are torque the axle nuts, throw some wheels and tires back on this thing, and go drive it and make sure everything's good. There's a few things that we're hoping that fix the vibration. Different front diff. Hopefully that one's not coming apart like the other one. That axle was pulling out of the CV. That lower uniball was loose inside the arm, and then the Super ATV wheel bearings. So got OEM wheel bearings in there now. We do have some for the rear. We just need to do that later. And same thing for this thing. We're gonna go put some miles on it this weekend at the camp out. All right, well, it's time for bed. I'm going in. I might record on Sunday while we're running, putting some miles on those cars. If not, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. All right, Dad, where were you yesterday?
Woo, dog, let me tell you what. I was at that NASCAR race. They go round and round, left turn, left turn, left turn, left turn. It's the coolest shit I ever seen in my life.
All right, Dad, where were you yesterday?